And well, this is the final app. Okay, as you can see, here we have the Superman app. You can drag the sprites. Okay, so seen the previous tutorial, but if you check, I have added like 4 sprites more. That is, these are working live buttons. Okay, and whenever you click any of these 4 different buttons, you will see or you will arrange the different features of the face, okay, in a different way. So these are like pre-made faces, okay. So I'm just here just showing you about the dragging, but now I'm going to use the buttons, okay, to show you the how do they work. So in this tutorial we are going to do this, okay. So we are going to create these buttons and we are going to assign different positions or arrangements for the different sprites. I hope you enjoy this tutorial, okay. Thanks for watching, okay, and enjoy. Hello friends, well, today we are going to finish with this tutorial for Superman app. Well, the first thing that we are going to create some buttons. Like here we are going to make them in Inkscape, remember? Okay, so this is the way that we have been working during the previous tutorials. So I will create 4 different buttons, okay? So and these buttons are going to have some pre-made faces, okay. So anytime I click any of these buttons, the sprites will arrange in a different way, okay. So just let's skip this part, okay. So just remember, you just create the buttons here, then we're going to write here some names, or in this case I will number them, okay. So let me skip this part. Excellent, and now it's time to export the buttons, okay. Just click on the circle, okay, it's not necessary to select the number, just click on the circle and export this to the folders. So you have to do this for all the buttons, okay. So find your project, okay, so name it, and you will have your button. So in this case this is button number 1, I guess, and that's it, okay. So you export, and that's it, and you do the same with all the 4 buttons or the rest of the buttons. Now I have exported all the buttons, and now it's time to create the different faces, okay. So in this case I will arrange all the sprites the way I want them to be for when I click or when I touch button number 1. So in this case I'm just making here, dragging this. Remember, we need the position, okay, from Inkscape to pass these values to App Inventor. And if you have any problems with this, remember you can check them in the previous tutorials. Well, back here in App Inventor, we need to create the sprites for the different buttons, okay. So we are going to go here to animation, and we will select, okay, or we will drag some sprites, okay, components, and that's it. Then just rename them, okay, so with a name that you remember, okay. So the sprite number 1, the sprite number 2, or maybe the button or something, okay. So they are sprites, but they want to work like buttons. So drag the second one, and so on and so forth. So let me skip this part. Finally, here we need to import or to upload the different buttons, okay, that we created in Inkscape. So we will do it with 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we are going to use them in the different sprites in App Inventor, okay. So I have here number 1, number 2, so don't worry about the position right now. Remember that in the blocks we're going to use the procedures to position these guys correctly. So let me skip this part. And that's it. We finished really fast. Now, the first thing that we need to do is to resize these sprites that we have created with the images. Okay, so we're going to use the procedure, okay, that we had for resizing. So I have it here, if you remember the previous tutorial. So we're going to make it easy, okay, so we are going just to duplicate some of these, okay, and then we are going to change it to the correct name of the sprites, okay, in this case for the ones that we have to use for this one. Excellent. For the phase 1 width and height, okay. So now we have to go to Inkscape and to get, in this case, the width and the height. Okay, and remember, when you have this kind of problems, for example, in this case, the circle, it is not like giving me the width or neither the height. So we have to go here and we have to create a dummy. Remember, I told you about this kind of thing that you can use. In this case, I have here check the values. Okay, so you have it here. So, but in that case, if not, you don't have any of this kind of size or whatever, you can make a square, for example, and you can use the position, okay, the information, the width and the size and the position. So, well, first we have here the width. We copy from Inkscape and we paste it, copy paste, and that's it. It's really fast, okay? So with that thing, you have it in the right size. Now, what about the position? So we have this problem that I mentioned before. Well, first, let me check here the height. Let me check if it's correct. Yeah, that's it. So we double checked his and we duplicate again. We changed from phase 1 to phase 2. I'm really lazy, really. I like this thing about duplicating. So, but you have to be very careful that you rename the different sprites or components that you use. And then we continue. Okay, so with number 3 and number 4, and then we go for the the size for these sprites is the same because we were duplicating in Inkscape. Okay, so no problem. So it's the same values. These are the same values. Now we need to position them. So we're going to use the position. Okay, so we have here this procedure which expanded because it was collapsed, and then we duplicate again. Okay, the X and Y procedures for all the sprites. So here just rename it to phase 1, phase 1X, phase 1Y. So, and we need to find the values. Well, as I told you, I guess in this case it's not displaying here the X and Y. So the XML editor, well, what can we do? Well, we are going to create a dummy file for this. Okay, so because we don't have any information, I don't know, I'm not an expert in Inkscape, but well, the easiest thing that you have to do, it is to create a square over the circle. So first you select the circle or the sprite that you want to have this kind of, you want to get the values from, and that's it. It is using this. Now you check that you have the X and you have the Y. So you just copy and you go here, you paste the X, make sure that is X, and then you go here and you go for the Y value. Okay, so this is for the position, and that's it. Pretty nice, right? Okay, so we're almost done. Now we have just to duplicate and do the same to get the values. Okay, so I'm just going to have here the phase number 2, okay, to show you again, and then I'm going to skip this part. So again, phase 2, we go here, we move this thing that is in front of the button, we place it in the same place. So first select, okay, and then you have the boundaries, and then you drag a beautiful square, and that's it. You have the shape, and then you have the X and Y. So X 240, Okay, and the other one it's like 984 and something, and that's it. So we get the first value, we copy, then we return to App Inventor, we paste, and we do the same for this one. Check. Yes, I forgot to rename to phase 2. Then make sure always to do that thing. Okay. So on the values. Well, so I guess we can skip this part. Check that I am not modifying the Y position because all of them are in the same Y position. Okay, so the only thing that you are modifying is the X axis. Okay, so in the Y axis, all of them have the same position. Okay, so let's skip this part. Okay, I finished, and now I'm going to check all of these things. Well, I am checking this in my cell phone. Okay, so unfortunately I didn't record this thing. Okay, so let me connect my phone. Okay, and then we will check how this thing is, if this thing is working or not. Okay, so let's check it out. Well, I checked and it was correct. Now we have to use the procedures, okay, or the components that are going to make this kind of premade faces. So in this case, I'm going to say that when I touch up sprite number 1, I wanted to move the position of these sprites, okay, of all the sprites, okay, to 1. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to modify the position for all the sprites. Okay, so for the mouth, for the eyes, for the nose, okay, and I guess those are all of them. Okay, eyes, nose, and the mouth. Okay, so that's the thing. You have to modify the position of all of them, and of course you are going to get the values from Inkscape. Okay, so that's pretty simple. But of course you have to use the result procedure, okay, that we created in the previous tutorial. Okay, so you call it, and that's it. Okay, so to have the correct position, okay, in the canvas. So we just copy or duplicate these things, and that's it. And now we just need to get the values from Inkscape. That's it, pretty nice. Well, I was thinking about why not to create a procedure, okay? So just to have it a little bit more order, okay? So you have here faces, a procedure for different faces to position them. And of course, we're going to modify in all of them the X and Y, okay? So that's the thing. Now we just need to add something. Oh, sorry. That's something I don't like. And that's it. Well, I am dragging this because we are modifying the X and Y position for the mouth, for the eyes, and for the nose. Okay, so that's why you have this all of these kind of variables, okay, inside this procedure. Okay, so just let me skip this part. That's it, pretty fast. And then we just need to drag these kind of variables to all the slots that we just have here. Okay, for the mouth, the X position of the mouth, the Y position of the mouth, and that's it. And we continue until we finish. And now, and now we have to use this procedure. Well, we collapse the procedure just to avoid having lots of blocks, and then we call the procedure inside phase 1 touch up in this sprite, and then we need to go to Inkscape, and we have to get the values from, in this case I guess it was the first sprite, I guess it was the mouth. Yeah, okay, so here we have the X, we copy, okay, Then you have X mouse. That's why it is very important to name all of these kind of slots, because if not it will be like really difficult or quite confusing. Then we paste, and then we go for again for the mouse, the Y of the mouse. Well, I just duplicated this, but we need the value from Inkscape. Okay, I know, yeah, sometimes this looks a little bit slow, but believe me, it is very nice when you see your app in different devices and it looks quite practically the same. Okay, so well, and then we continue until we finish this part. So we continue until we get all the values. Okay, then we duplicate here this sprite, we change or we rename it to phase 2 or the different phase, and then we do the same. Now we need to arrange the sprites in a different way, okay, to have the phase number 2, and that's it. Oh, come on, look, this very nice guy. Okay, now he looks like a real superhero. Okay, a very nice person now. Okay, well, we move this thing, okay, where we want it, and that's it. We have the positions. Okay, so now we have to repeat all the procedure of getting the X and Y for all of these images, okay, or sprites, and we just override the previous one because we remember we duplicated. Okay, and that's it. So let me skip this part. Well, I finish this one, and then we need to create again a different face in Inkscape. Okay, so that's why I told you this. We're using Inkscape as in this case as the designer part of App Inventor, and it's really cool. Okay, well, so you just think in a different phase, the way you can arrange all the sprites now for button number 3. Okay, so here you can move the sprites with the arrows, okay, just to be more accurate, and that's it. Oh wow, I like this one, okay, with the big jaw. It looks pretty cool, right? I like this thing, okay. So I guess for kids or for babies, this could be a really cool app. So imagine maybe not a superhero, but maybe kind of animal or something. Okay, so you just need to be a little bit creative with Inkscape or GIMP or whatever program you use. Okay, and that's it. We set it. We're ready, and then we have to export the different X and Y values. Okay, but first we go to App Inventor, and then we duplicate this kind of procedure for the sprite, and then we change it to phase number 3, and then I'm going to skip this part because I know that now you have mastered this. Okay, I'm going to skip the number 3 and the number 4. Well, I finished with the number 3, and now I'm just trying to arrange the number 4 phase. Okay, phase number 4. So I'm going to arrange here to make it different to I don't know, so maybe, well, that is the idea. I just wanted to show you. Okay, so the phase number 4. Okay, so it looks quite good. Okay, well, something like that. Okay, so let me skip this part, or maybe I can speed it up. And that's it. We have finished this kind of app. Okay, we have created the 4 buttons with the premade faces. Okay, so I guess now it's really cool. Okay, so you can drag the sprites, okay, whatever you want, or you can use just the sprite buttons, okay, to arrange the sprites in a different way to have funny faces of this Superman, okay. So you can have different possibilities. For example, I was thinking that you can use the buttons, okay, to load different sprites, okay, so maybe different kind of eyes or something, okay. Well, you have many possibilities. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, okay, and I will see you the next time, okay, because I have a very nice tutorial for the next time, okay. So see you. Thank you. And please, okay, don't forget to share this video and to subscribe if you are not subscribed, okay. So by the way, I am just I'm going to start like working with Spanish videos, okay. So well, I'm going to have the English version and the Spanish version, okay, because some of you want to have these videos in Spanish, okay. So thank you for watching, guys. So see you next time, okay, and get ready because the next time we will have another game in App Inventor.